As we talked about in Lesson 1, communication plays an essential role in our lives. It signifies progress and development from the tiniest aspect up to the most salient part of the society. Greetings, class! Today we are going to discuss about communication and globalization. For the objectives of this lesson, you are expected to define globalization, characterize relationship of communication and globalization, and explain the positive and negative impacts of globalization. Now, before we start class, let me ask you these questions. What is the farthest place that you have been to? Is it Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao? Have you been to abroad? Where? Think about those experiences that you have. Alright? Now, if you've been to many places here in the Philippines and even in abroad, that's good for you. However, if you haven't gone too far from your nest, there is a way for you with the influence of globalization. So you can somehow visit and explore many places you want to go. Now, what is globalization? As defined here, globalization is the effect of the opening of the global economy and the increase in trade between countries and nations. Globalization does not limit to trade and commerce, tourism, politics, but it also opens the window to the understanding of the language and culture across the world. So remember that when there is business and trade class, there is communication which upholds understanding. Say for example, how can we Filipinos sell our products to different countries if we don't know how to converse with foreigners? Of course, the same thing happen when they want to sell their products to us as well, right? So to make this possible, businessmen study the language and culture of their clients to come to understanding with them and finally to be able to sell their products. From this, we can infer that exchange of products is not the only thing that happens. There is also exchange of language and culture. Now, globalization class is greatly influenced by technologies. As technology advances, the world is getting smaller. Today, we are able to communicate with people across the globe at the touch of a button. While globalization, or communication between nations beyond their borders, is an old concept, with the onset of new technology, globalization is impacting the ways we communicate and learn in fascinating ways. We are expanding our understanding of fellowship, and as we become more connected, we are deepening our educational experiences. Indeed, class, today, because of technologies, we are able to employ complete distance and online learning within the country and even in abroad as well. Now, class, globalization has both positive and negative impacts, no? So, at this juncture, we are going to enumerate these impacts. First, let's go to the positive impacts. Right. So the first one, we have availability of information. With globalization, there will be an overflowing of information from different countries all over the world with the help of internet. Alright? So one can reach a friend with the use of different technologies. We can catch up with our loved ones who live in abroad through Skype or video call. No? Second, we have business conduct. So, with globalization, micro businessmen have an avenue to advertise their products. People from different areas can avail the services from different places. New innovations in presenting different businesses can be learned now, right? So, if you can notice, class, there are many businessmen who are advertising their products in different social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So their businesses can reach a lot of people. Alright, so let's proceed to number 3. We have social awareness. What is happening around the world can now be seen by everyone. So we can be updated about the things that are going on in Japan, in China, USA, Syria, Iraq, etc., etc. So learning new things are now enjoyed by learners of different ages from different countries all over the world. Now, without further ado, class, let's proceed with the negative impacts. So the first one, we have environmental damage. So take note, class, that the increased production means increased utilization of natural resources. Besides, increased trade results to increased transport, which uses fossil fuels. As a result, pollution has increased, leading to climate change. These changes in climate are now a serious threat to humanity. So it's not a joke anymore. In the future of the world, all because of globalization. Now, if you're fond of watching CNN and Discovery Channel, class, you can see how penguins and polar bears in North and South poles are suffering because of the melting of the ice there. So they are literally dying because of climate change. Some animals are even near to extinction. However, class, even if this serious threat is very apparent today, although there are movements which aim to save the environment, there are still many people who are turning a blind eye and contribute to environmental damage. There are still many industries who practice improper waste disposal. So it has become more and more apparent, class. Now, for the last one, we have price fluctuation. Globalization has led to increased market competition, hence leading to fluctuation in prices. So, I guess that's all for this lesson. Now, for your activity, you are tasked to make a collage. So, make a collage on how globalization affects communication. You provide a title of your work. Do not forget to indicate your name, no? So, put it in a long bond paper. Take a picture of it and submit it to Edmudo. Students, who will not follow instructions will automatically receive 0. So for the criteria, class, creativity 10 points, originality 10 points, relevance 10 points, a total of 30 points. Again, class, you are going to make this collage actually, no? So you're going to make this collage as in and take a picture of it. Okay, with all of those, thank you very much.